Hey guys, Level Cap here, and this week in gaming, Battlefield 2042 has new rewards and modes, Stalker 2 NFTs got cancelled by fans, Activision Blizzard tried to stop its workers from unionizing, and much more. Battlefield 2042 has been discounted by 34% on Steam and consoles. For players that want to try the game themselves before buying it, there's currently a free weekend on Steam that will last until Monday, December 20th at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. A new weekly challenge is now live, getting 30 kills or kill assists, doing 2,500 damage with explosives, and capturing or neutralizing 15 objectives will reward you with the Dealmaker Epic PP29 skin. Also, logging in during the next couple of weeks will give you the Santa's Little Helper player card and the Arctic Assassin tag. Portal also has two new modes available. The first is 1942 versus 2042 Conquest, which is 64-player conquest on 1942 and 2042 maps. The second is Attack of the Elves. It's a 32-player infection mode. The first team to 50 points wins. The teams are Team Santa versus Team Elves. It's available on 1942, Bad Company 2, Battlefield 3, and 2042 maps. Attack of the Elves will be live until January 6th. In our final bit of Battlefield 2042 news, Battlefield Bulletin posted their final known issues recap of 2021. These issues are being tracked by DICE and will receive fixes early in the new year or sooner. They include some game settings resetting on boot, the DirectX function crash, last-gen controller input delay, mastery progression for guns and specialists getting stuck, and weekly missions not tracking. GSC Game World found themselves in hot water after announcing NFTs for their upcoming game Stalker 2. The NFTs were intended to help fund the game's development costs, with one of the NFT tokens letting the player be an NPC in Stalker 2, assuming the token owner could make their way to the studio's office in Ukraine. Fans were not at all pleased with this decision. GSC responded with a now deleted press statement explaining why they were doing NFTs. The gist of it was that they're an independent studio developing Stalker 2 without a publisher. The game is their biggest and most ambitious title ever, and NFTs were intended to help fund the continued development. It's still unclear if the NFTs would have provided supplemental income or make up for unpaid expenses. They quickly deleted the post. An hour later, GSC announced that they had canceled anything NFT related for Stalker 2. NFTs have become a highly divisive topic talked about in both gaming and tech, with even some of the higher-ups like Xbox boss Phil Spencer calling them more exploitive than entertaining. Where do you guys stand when it comes to NFTs in games? Are you guys for or against this type of content? Activision Blizzard is at it once again. This time, it's trying to stop its workers from forming a union. The gaming giant has been under extreme fire following multiple sexual harassment and gender-based discrimination allegations. The most recent controversy comes after Blizzard laid off 12 contract-based quality assurance workers from Raven Studios, a studio owned by Activision Blizzard, known for working on Call of Duty Warzone. Those 12 developers represent 1/3 of the studio's QA team. Activision Blizzard is converting 500 contract workers to full-time employees this year. The layoffs at Raven are 12 of 20 contractors getting the boot across all of Activision Blizzard studios. These layoffs have caused company-wide walkout protests. A company-wide email was sent by Chief Administrative Officer Brian Buletow that asked employees to take time to consider the consequences of your signature on unionization documents. And of course, the reaction to this email was predictably negative. Activision Blizzard wants to avoid any sort of union forming, and this email is seen as a scare tactic. Workers are not having it and have even started a GoFundMe page that has raised over $300,000 to help people impacted by the walkouts and help fund possible future walkouts. Activision Blizzard also recently published a diversity report. It shows that diversity hires made up a lot of new employees in their last fiscal year, but very few of them are for executive positions. The implication is that diversity hires are being looked over for leadership roles when the company is promising to become more diverse and inclusive. CD Projekt Red have settled with several investors who complained about the disastrous release of Cyberpunk 2077. The lawsuit was originally filed by investors that felt they had been misled about the poor state of the game on last-generation consoles. At launch, Cyberpunk was nearly unplayable on Xbox One and PlayStation 4 due to a list of extensive bugs and performance issues. It was so bad that Sony actually pulled it from the PlayStation Store and issued around 30,000 refunds. The $1.8 million settlement is barely a scratch compared to the whopping $563 million the game made in sales throughout 2020. And according to a VGC report, Cyberpunk seems to be going on its second wind now that many of the game's bugs have been fixed and future expansions are being worked on. After making fans wait an entire decade for a new Splinter Cell game, Ubisoft have announced a remake of the original 2002 game. Ubisoft promises that Splinter Cell is a core part of the studio's identity and to expect a high-quality modernization of the original title. The game will be completely rebuilt from the ground up using Ubisoft's Snowdrop engine, which was recently used for The Division 2. The game will feature dynamic lighting and shadows that are incorporated in the game's design. The main changes will be in animations and movement throughout the world, making sure that there's a mixture of old gameplay with the innovations seen in more recent titles. Ubisoft has not released any gameplay footage, and there's no ETA for a launch. Minecraft is now the first game to net 1 trillion views on YouTube. Minecraft is undoubtedly the most popular game in the world. It's sold 248 million copies since launch in 2009 and currently has 140 million active users per month. And to celebrate, YouTube dedicated a website to the creators and videos that have helped the game reach such a wild figure. To put it into sort of a weird perspective, if you counted each view as just a single second, the total time that would make up would be 30,000 years. Undoubtedly, the game's wild popularity has turned out to be a smart investment for Microsoft, who purchased the developer of the game Mojang for $2.5 billion back in 2014. Square Enix has temporarily pulled Final Fantasy XIV from sale. New players will be unable to purchase the game or register for any free trials. The company decided to take these drastic measures following the release of the MMO's recent Endwalker expansion. It's been so popular that the servers are still struggling to keep up with all the new players that it brought on in the 2 weeks after launch. The current advertisement for Endwalker will go on hiatus, but Square Enix confirmed it would not suspend all marketing plans. To help make up for the outages and pulling the game from sale, free accounts will get their playable time increased from 7 days to 21. Before we get to our final story this week, let us know what games you've been playing the most during the holiday season. For me, it's been half Battlefield 2042, half Diablo 2 Resurrected, which I am still addicted to, and a little bit of Townscaper when I just need to chill. 343 Studios addressed concerns expressed by players during its Tenrai event. The big complaint is just how much of the available event content is stuck behind a paywall instead of being earnable through gameplay. According to the head of design, Jerry Hook, some of the issues came from a communication mistake. He addressed the issues in a community stream and promised better clarity about which items are earnable and which items will be purchasable. 343 are also looking to add more event changes so players don't feel stuck while trying to unlock some of the rewards. This is also part of an initiative that 343 has already slowly started implementing to improve the challenge system. Since launch, they've added new challenges that reward additional XP for completing matches. They've also reworked some of the harder challenges to be more accessible. And that wraps it up for This Week in Gaming. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you next time. This is Level Cap, signing off.